shattered his nose, and he will probably require surgery postseason on it, having trouble breathing through the nose, but has not yet missed a game. Indianapolis on the rush. Dupuis wide on right wing, ahead for Miller, deflected it right on. Reese couldn't cover the rebound as it's knocked behind the net by Dubinsky. Miller goes to the far board, being picked up by Bobby J. Jammed ahead. Here's Presley the other way, and a penalty coming up to Detroit. An interference call, I believe, that's going to end up going on Bobby J here. One of the 2 remaining original Vipers, and he'll get a seat. And Indianapolis will get a power play midway through the first.
Over there, Bobby J for interference, trying to run the screen along the boards. Walker has returned. You can see the ice bag on the right hand that was doing all the damage on Gronman. Gronman got his 2 minutes for receiving, I think. That's all that could be appropriate. Walker pasted him at least 4 times on the button.
So at the penalty to Bobby J, Indianapolis now begins a 2-man advantage for 14 seconds, as that's what remains in the penalty being served by Corvo. Indianapolis on the power play now, top of the near circle. This is Warenka. Shovels it across to Snell. These 2 quarterback this unit, and they do it well. Warenka fakes the shot, shovels it low, back out to Snell. His drive blocks. Savaglia turns and wires it the length of the ice as Corvo exits the box, and now a 5-on-4 Indianapolis power play for the next minute and a half.
This was a good power play before Kip Miller came here about a month ago. With the addition of Kip Miller, they have been red hot on the power play.
They turn it over at center, however. Simon 1 on now 3. Turns to the open ice and now just fires it up the boards and in. 2 Vipers caught in the zone. They better hurry to get back. Dubinsky across the line, drops it. Warenka with a bullet kicked away by Reese. Rebound bounces right back to him, and he blockered it away. Great save by Reese to even see it, and the Vipers ice it.
Another indication that Jeff Reese is squarely on his game once again here tonight, able to follow that bouncing puck, and as you said, make a good reaction save with the blocker.
Wayne Presley with a heady move to rag it all the way back to his blue line after he came up with the turnover deep in the Indy zone, and Jeff Parrott will send it back into the Indianapolis end. 40 seconds now remains in the Indianapolis power play. Pass through center. They hit Klimovich, but he got it into the zone. Now Prokopek gets it back to him in the corner. Down low, Chizowski has it poked away from him momentarily, trying to reach out with that long stick of his and dig it free, and he does. Back to the left point for Snell. Sends it across. Warenka fakes. Now Snell, top of the near circle. Quick puck movement, finds Klimovich in the slot. Had a man in front, but he got tripped up. That was Prokopek who was parked in front. Chizowski sends it to the line. Snell had it rolling, couldn't tee it up. Now loose to the corner. Klimovich pokes it back for Chizowski. Inside 10 seconds to go, and the penalty to Bobby J. Parrott hits his man hard down low. Prokopek gets it back to Chizowski. Klimovich has Snell coming in, and Reese makes the save. The rebound to the far side, picked up by Tardif as Jay comes out of the box, and both teams are full strength. The puck played off a Detroit player in the bench and whistled down. So both teams now officially 0 for 2 on the power play, and Jeff Reese seeing the best chances he has seen all night.
Any good penalty killing unit will tell you the key ingredient to success is good goaltending and timely saves, and Jeff Reese supplied that on that power play by Indy. These were the best. Big slap shot, one-timer, good left pad save, but the better saves yet to come. The bouncing puck, and watch right there, he just got his blocker on it as it was almost bounding by him, meaning he's seeing the puck very, very well.
All 7 saves so far for Jeff Reese as he looks at the draw to his left in the Detroit zone. Savaglia beats Huska on it. Len Esau goes after it, finds Savaglia in the middle. He threw it up and away. This shot blocked. And Drulli will roll it all the way back into the Indianapolis zone. Chassé chases after it. Heimovitz able to knock it away to center ice. Slashed off his stick by Savaglia. Brad Shaw gets it up the board. Savaglia just nearly able to chip it by Dupuis, but he couldn't, and Dupuis lifts it in wide of the Detroit net. Esau comes back to get it, hit by Heimovitz. Puck underneath him, and Chassé digs it out. Mills in after it, along with Huska. This is the big checking line for Indianapolis. Heimovitz, Mills, and Huska. Chassé doing his fair share. Now Shaw takes his man down. I think the puck's somewhere underneath there. And finally, the whistle is blown by Tom Kowal.
Ryan Huska, Cy Young candidate, 15 goals, 6 assists. But as you said, that is the big forechecking line, big in a lot of ways, not just with their ability to contain their opposition, but their physical size as well.
Second-year pro out of that hockey factory of late, Cam Loops. Remember the Blazers for 4 years. Knows a little bit of something about winning.
Western Hockey League always produces good, grinding, tough, competitive forwards.
Plenty of action coming up at the Palace this Friday through Sunday. It'll be the Longhorn World Championship Rodeo on February 23rd. Metallica live in concert with Corrosion of Conformity. Seats are available. Call the Palace box office or stop by any Ticketmaster location.
Who? Corrosion of Conformity.
I thought you were saying who? Metallica.
Oh, no, no. We're all over that, man.
Killer, dude. Face off in the ring to the left of Reese. Miller wins it, swept on net, and Reese sticks that to the corner as Rob Kahn had a chance. Now Corriveau stick handles the center and has been bumped off the puck by Wawrinka, who came over. Back into the Detroit zone. Reese takes a look, goes up the middle with it, and that's a good play there as the Vipers break out 3-on-2. Simon across the line has Kessa with him, but it's knocked off his stick. And a good defensive play by Alain Nesradine. Now giving away. Bobby J throws it in front, deflected just wide by Corriveau, and another penalty coming up to Indianapolis. Corriveau then with the bump after the whistle on Wawrinka. But the Vipers are going to go to the power play. 5.5 to go in the first. Seemed to be some question for a minute there whether or not the penalty was on Detroit or not. I know Corriveau was looking as if he didn't know after the whistle, but it's Nesradine again who will get the gate hooking this time.
He was beaten in front off that deflection. Could have been hooking, could have been piling on. Watch him here. You see Simon is trying to get to the front of the net. Hooked him to the ice as he tried to use the old spin move. Talked about it on his first infraction. Nesradine, a very physical player.
Face off to the right of Mark Lamothe, who suddenly hasn't seen much action in the last few minutes because of Indy's power plays. Savaglia swings it down low. Walker has it there. Trying to move it to the slot. That's picked off by Christian Laflamme, who circles the net and rifles it even over the Indianapolis bench and into the crowd. That's an unfortunate break for the ice. That'll keep the face off deep in their own zone. Just 14 seconds into this power play. Bob Ferguson, a very successful junior coach in the USHL. In his second year in the IHL. Savaglia set to take the draw for Detroit. As Walker and Drulia out there with him. Off the draw, comes to the line. He saw a shot. Stick save made by Lamothe, and then the rebound just chipped harmlessly on net by Drulia, and he gloves that. Lamothe last year just 5-9-3 with Fredericton of the American League at a 3.76 goals against average and only got in 23 games. But is 2-0 in his last two with a .944 save percentage and has looked sharp so far tonight.
What a difference a year make. Last year he backed up Patrick Lebrec, who finds himself in Quebec this year backing up Stefan Beauregard. He can't get into a game.
Vipers win the draw. Walker off the right wing wall leaves it for Savaglia out high. Shaw across for Esau. High pressure out high from Dubinsky. Down low now Savaglia lost the handle right at the side of the net and it's swept away. Indianapolis taking Detroit out of their power play a little bit by making them play it down low. Icing will be the call as Shaw's pass at the blue line misses Drulia, and Wawrinka easily touches up. 1:09 now to go in the Detroit man advantage. Said Steve Ludzik had his team atop the entire league. Well, he wishes it was that easy to just get atop the division. Only 1 point better than Orlando, who has 2 games in hand coming into tonight, and Orlando is in action tonight in Grand Rapids. Cincinnati, Quebec, and Grand Rapids having their own little battle for the number 3 spot.
Lutzy's had to piecemeal lineups together many nights. Probably won't garner the number of votes that he probably deserves for Coach of the Year honors. Everybody thinking that this is such a talented team, and it is. But he's had to do a fine job behind the bench.
The talk tonight before the game with him and Rick Dudley, amongst others, was the fact that they just have not had a full complement of players to use all season long. They did a couple times earlier this year, but Phil Von Stefanelli was up with Ottawa at the time, and they didn't feel they were as strong on the blue line as they can be. There is Von Stefanelli with it, and now a penalty coming up to Detroit. Tardif, I believe, is going to go off, or did they get Samsonov for a hook here? I think they got Sergei Samsonov, Detroit's version of Lady Bing. Just the second time all season he's been whistled for anything. The first time he was whistled, he got a minor, a double minor, and a 10-minute misconduct, so he now has 16 penalty minutes. Hooking will be the call, and the Vipers twice now nullifying power play chances in their midst by taking minor penalties.
You have to admire what they're trying to do down low. They're trying to run the screens, run the picks, and get open on the far side. But as you indicated, Indianapolis doing a nice job of taking the Vipers out of the rhythm on the power play, making the puck go down low. They would rather have the shot come in from the point, and they're taking that away.
One for their last 36. Hard to say they really have a lot of rhythm right now on that power play. And as it's 4-on-4, that'll be icing on Indianapolis. And with 4:08 to go in the first, we'll take a break. No score at the Palace. First period's been very important for both of these hockey clubs this season, yet they have not done as well by goal differential in the first as they have in their other two periods. And as we go down the final 4 minutes of a scoreless first period, it's interesting to note that while the first period is the worst for both of these teams, Detroit's 18-0-0 when leading after one. Indy is 13-1-3. But Stefanelli rockets it home right off the draw, and there's a lead. 1-0 Detroit.
And that is a goal differential. Change that graphic. It just it just went to 6. But that's the option they're looking for. So many times the Vipers generate offense off of one faceoff. It's usually Savaglia. This time it was Simon. Late pressure on Stefanelli, got to the middle, ripped it over the catching glove of Lamont. He probably thinks he should have had it because I think he saw it all the way.
Yeah, there was no screen there. Second straight game in which Von Stefanelli has netted one, and Detroit has a 1-0 lead. The importance of leading after two can never be overstated, but sometimes the importance of leading after one can be understated. Both of these teams know that importance, and Detroit now has that lead. Indianapolis will, however, have a power play in 5 more seconds. Loose puck side of the Detroit net. Tardif is up with it. Skates it to center, gets to the red line, and diagonally dumps it in as Nesradine comes out of the box, and Indy now on the power play for 1:10. Kip Miller away to center. Former Hobie Baker winner at Michigan State has it knocked off his stick at the blue line, but it's not knocked out of the zone until Bobby J gets there. And he sends a two-hopper the length of the ice. Snell back to get it. But Stefanelli will get the goal for Detroit. His 9th of the year from Todd Simon. Turnover at center. Presley played it off the skate of Kessa. Otherwise, the two of them may have been away. Now the ice into the Detroit zone. Dubinsky has a man at the far point. Warenko with a blast. Glove save, Jeff Reese.
Big league trapper there. Flashed by Jeff Reese.
And the big league shot of Brad Warenka as well.
Talk about Warenka in the opening. No stranger to putting the puck on the net. He's scored 9 times on the power play and has 31 points in total. Most of those assists, I'm sure, coming off of rebounds.
Leads all defensemen in the league in assists with 41, but his 17 goals are second most in the IHL. Made quite a bid for number 18 right there. Indy still on the power play for a half a minute. Off the right wing half wall, Miller plays it back to the line. Warenka across now for Snell. Back to Warenka in the middle. Miller can't stop it with the skate. Dubinsky is there in the corner to keep it alive. Back up the boards. Miller sends it across. Snell able to control the pass. Back to Warenka. Winds up. That's a fake. Over to Snell again. He wants to send it down low. That pass intended for Kahn. Broken up by Bobby J and iced by Stan Drulia. Samsonov's penalty will wind down. He will rejoin the play. And both teams now full strength as he is on the ice. Shaw behind the Detroit net, wires it around. Walker didn't see it coming. Chizowski stepped in front of it. Now plays it to the corner. Shaw with it there, plays it around the back wall. 2 minutes to go in the first period. 1-0 Detroit, and Len Esau will get it out right up the middle on net. Chassé, the first man in, and Lamont took his time, then turned it over to Walker. Chassé out of the corner, still has it. Brings it to the high slot, but it rolls off his stick, then gets it back. Good work by Denny Chassé. Ahead now for Simon. Looking for help. It's back to Chassé, a little bit behind him. He's taken down, and another penalty coming up to Indianapolis. with a $1:38 to go. Brad Wawrinka, the former All-American in Northern Michigan, disagrees, but he'll get a seat.
Wawrinka got trapped in the zone. As you remember, he was out on that power play. He has to be tired, and all this was set up because of the indecision by Lamothe not to play the puck quickly. Vipers were able to keep the zone. It led to a penalty, and it may lead to another power play goal.
Well, I thought Lamothe was just playing possum to cover that puck. I didn't think there was any way he was going to play it. And when he did, he pretty much went to a danger zone with it.
It really did. Well, he froze. It looked like he was truly undecided whether he wanted to play it or freeze it. It looked like a goalie in a pickup game where he let the guy skate by it because you know there's going to be no contact. And it led to the trouble and eventually to the penalty taken by Wawrinka.
Face-off rim of the circle to the right of Lamothe. Dubinsky to oppose Savaglia, and it floats back into the Detroit zone. Detroit with their 4th power play chance in the period. And if they could convert here, what a difference that would make. Savaglia across the line from Esau, gets it to Walker. He has a man with him, takes the shot, and a save made by Lamothe. Drulia couldn't get to the rebound as Nesradine had a hold of his stick. Now it comes right in front to Drulia. Score! Savaglia set him up after he finally got free from Nesradine. It's 2-0.
Some things aren't that apparent, but Steve Walker made the correct decision to put the puck on the goal instead of trying to force the pass, something he may not have done or had the confidence to do 3 weeks ago. Because of that, they were able to keep the puck in the zone, and of course, once you have Savaglia and Drulia, they're going to get a good chance, and more often than not, they'll find the twine. Look at the patience by Stan Drulia.
His 23rd of the year comes on the power play, and for Drulia, his 4th in 6 games against Indianapolis.
Ryan Huska, outside of his comfort level there behind the goal, tries to clear it feebly up the middle, served it up for Savaglia. 2-0 is huge with the defensive style of the Vipers.
And Detroit with just their 2nd power play goal in their last 37 chances. It's not necessarily quantity, it's perhaps timing as much as anything, and that's a big goal. Now the puck knocked down by a high stick. And played by Tardif right after he did it, so it is blown dead. Just under a minute to go here in the first period. Coming up in our first intermission, we'll visit with the Viper captain, Stan Drulia, one of 3 Viper All-Stars, and he'll be making his 5th consecutive All-Star appearance. In fact, the all-time leading scorer in IHL All-Star competition is Stan Drulia.
To find out if there's still the thrill of being selected to go to the All-Star game.
45 seconds to go in the period as Tardif has it for Detroit, watched by Huska, and got it to the line, knocked in. Nesradine trying to turn away from the hit, takes the hit from Chassé, rolls right to the side of the net, and Christian Laflamme bats it to the corner. Cycling there. Samsonov with Chassé, he turns away from Huska, but turned right back into Nesradine. Now gets it up the boards to Chassé. Just keeps it deep. Tardif below the goal line with 15 seconds to go in the period. Trying to get it back to Samsonov, but it's taken away there, and Heimovitz clears to center ice. Parrott sends it right back to Samsonov at the line. Bumped off the puck there by Laflamme, and the final seconds of the first period will wind down here, and Detroit will take the lead to the locker room as the horn sounds. A solid period for the Vipers, both teams with chances. But Darren, not so much the 2-goal lead for Detroit, but when it came, both goals inside the final 4 minutes or so of that period, and that has to be deflating to Indianapolis.
Absolutely. They had some good chances on the power play of their own, thwarted at the other end by Jeff Reese. Lamothe was pretty good in the first 10 minutes. 2 snuck by him. That's big.
Detroit 2, Indianapolis nothing after 1 at the Palace. Back to chat with the Viper captain and all-star to be for the 5th straight year. Stan Drulia will join us after we take this time out.
This is TSN.
Vipers 2 and the Indianapolis Ice nothing after 1 period of play at the Palace of Auburn Hills. John Allers alongside my color analyst Darren Elliott, and something that has not come easy for Detroit of late. Goals come late in the first period, very timely for Detroit.
They've had a hard time opening up a 2-goal lead of any kind at any time. They've played more 1-goal games than anybody in the league. A little bit of breathing room is nice.
Standing by downstairs is the Viper captain, Stan Drulia, who joins us. And Stan, that second goal has a lot of meaning for many reasons. Obviously, the 2-goal lead is much more comfortable than the 1-goal lead, but maybe because it's a power play goal more than anything, it gives you guys a lift.
Well, I think we're 2 for 34, I think, in the last few games or so. So it's nice to get a power play goal. It's nice to get a 2-goal lead. We've been battling all year in 1-goal games, like you said, and sometimes it takes a lot of toll on you. You're working hard every shift. I mean, you can't take a shift off out there. And that's really going to help us in the playoffs. That's what Steve has stressed all year is work hard every shift and work on these tight games and win these now, and you're going to win them in the end.
Stan, in all fairness, the power play, you guys have been trying new personnel. You pick up Len Esau. He's just getting comfortable. How difficult is that to work on different schemes at this time of the season?
Well, I mean, we haven't really worked on our power play all that much. You know, we got a lot of talented players out there, so we're kind of, you know, we talk amongst ourselves, and Steve's got a game plan that we go with. But I mean, it's just a matter of learning each other. Lenny's got a great shot, and hopefully we can get him shooting the puck. And we know when we played against him that we tried to take him away. We didn't want to let him shoot the puck, so we're hoping teams are going to try and do that, and then it's going to create some new things down low for us.
Stan, we were just getting a look at the goal you scored there at the tail end of the period. Against Indianapolis now, you got 4 this season. Is this club bring something out in Stan Drulia that other clubs don't, or do they play you differently?
I don't know. I've always had a tough time against these guys. It's just circumstances. I guess I think 3 of them are power plays, so maybe it's a good sign that I got a power play goal against these guys again tonight, and we got 40 more minutes to go. So a lot of time to a few more power plays, and hopefully we can get a couple more and get a bigger lead.
Stan, I wanted to say congratulations being selected to the All-Star game that takes place next week. 5th in a row, all-time leading scorer in the All-Star competition. Is it still a thrill?
It's always fun. It's an honor to be selected to the All-Star team, you know, to play, you know, supposedly the best 40 guys in our league, and it's a great honor. It's a good time. We all go there, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the friends that I haven't seen that I played with in the last few years and this and that. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All-Star game comes a little bit late this season for the Vipers after the All-Star break. There will only be 24 games left in the season, and that's when everybody starts looking at the playoffs, looking at positioning, watching the division races. Steve Ludzik has said to me, as have a number of players, we're not going to watch Orlando. We know they have a home-heavy schedule. They're a good hockey club. We don't expect them to lose much. But how realistic is that? Because I know you guys are interested.
Well, I know the first thing I look for every morning in the paper is to see how they did. So it's interesting. I mean, as long as we keep winning, though, we're going to be all right. And that's the main thing, is we worry about ourselves and let what happens to them happens to them. Hopefully, you know, you don't want to get into a real gung-ho about first overall because you don't want to take your toe on you in the regular season. But if it comes to us, we'll be glad to take it. Home ice advantage in the playoffs is always a key to have. So we're looking forward to that. You know, we just want to play hard for the next 26 games and get as focused as we can for Game 1 of the playoffs. That's what's important right now.
So many tough teams in the league this year, Stan. Indianapolis and the Vipers have a great rivalry. They seem to have great size up front. Do you prepare for them any differently because of that size?
Well, they're a big, strong team, and they make you pay for everything you get. They work you hard along the wall, and you got to be aggressive, and you got to be patient. I think the league is going that way. They're getting bigger guys and stronger guys, and the game is obviously being tighter checking, as we can see in the goals scored this year. So I mean, they're a trapping team, and they make you work for everything you get. You got to try and get some more speed in the neutral zone to take things over.
You talked about the close games preparing you guys for the playoffs later on, as they have been all season long. But we've also made light of the fact up here in the booth that really the club doesn't feel they've had a full complement of healthy players all season long. Does that help you come postseason as well, because players have been forced into roles they might not have normally been in?
I think so. I mean, you know, just look at the last 2 weeks with Steve Walker being here. You know, he's been up and down, and he's come in the last 2 weeks, and he's gotten a chance to play a lot more, and he's really responded well. So that's going to give us some added depth come playoff time. So, I mean, we're all excited about the playoffs. You know, we wish we could start tomorrow the way things are going right now. But we know we got 26 games left to prepare, and it's going to be a long, tough road, and you know, hopefully we can be healthy going into Game 1 of the playoffs.
Stan, congratulations once again for your 5th consecutive All-Star nod. We'll see you in Grand Rapids. Continued success there as well as tonight, and thanks for joining us here in our first intermission.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Stan Drulia, the captain of the Detroit Vipers, on his way to his 5th consecutive IHL All-Star game, and he has one of the two Detroit goals after one, with the Vipers on top 2-0.